Let's be honest, the world of nutrition can be a lot. One day fat is the enemy, the next it's carbs. It's easy to get lost. So today, we're going to step back from all that noise and look at food through a completely different lens. We're not talking about calories or macros, but about the fundamental chemistry happening inside our bodies. Right now, we're diving into the acid-alkaline balance.
I mean, seriously, what's the real villain? We've all been there, right? You read one book that says fat is terrible, then another that says it's essential, then sugar becomes public enemy number one, then it's all about good carbs versus bad carbs. The goalposts just keep moving and it's exhausting. But what if we're asking the wrong question? What if it's not about finding a single bad guy to blame for everything? The source material we're looking at today suggests a totally different approach. It says the real key isn't elimination, it's balance. Okay, so to really get this, we first need to appreciate the incredible, high-stakes balancing act our body is performing every single second of the day.
It all boils down to something you probably remember from high school chemistry, the pH scale. It's just a simple way to measure if something is acidic, like lemon juice, or alkaline, like baking soda, with pure water being perfectly neutral right in the middle, at 7.
Now here's where it gets absolutely mind-blowing. When it comes to our blood, our body is unbelievably precise. The pH of our blood has to stay in this razor-thin, non-negotiable window. On the low, slightly more acidic end, you've got 7.35.
And on the high end, 7.4. That's it. That is the entire safe range. If it dips below that, you risk falling into a coma. If it goes above, you risk, well, also a coma. There is basically zero room for error.
So how on earth does your body maintain this perfect balance? Well, it has two incredible, tireless guardians working around the clock. First, your lungs. Every single time you exhale, you're breathing out acidic carbon dioxide. And then you've got your kidneys, which are like the ultimate filtration system, constantly testing your blood and pulling out any excess acid or alkali. They are on the job 24/7.
But here's the absolute kicker, the main point from our source. While your blood pH is protected like Fort Knox, there's another battle going on. A battle that's way more flexible, and it's happening right inside your cells.
And this right here, this is the aha moment. Don't worry about changing your blood's pH. You can't, and you wouldn't want to. Your body has that on lockdown. The real story, the place where we actually have some influence, is the pH inside our cells. This is the battlefield where our diet and lifestyle choices actually make a difference.
So, what's the ideal target for ourselves? According to the source, it's right around 6.5. Now you might be thinking, wait, that's slightly acidic, and you'd be right. And there's a really important reason for that.
It's all about getting the speed just right. Your cells are like these tiny little factories, running millions of chemical reactions to create energy. If the environment gets too alkaline, everything grinds to a halt. The reactions just slow way down. But if it gets too acidic, they go haywire, speeding up uncontrollably. That sweet spot, right around 6.5, helps everything run smoothly and efficiently.
So what happens if our choices constantly push our system towards being too acidic? Well, the body will do anything to protect that sacred blood pH. And if it has to, it will resort to drastic measures, like pulling alkaline minerals, like calcium, straight from your bones. And the source suggests this emergency measure comes at a high price over time, potentially leading to things like arthritis, bone spurs, and even kidney and gallstones.
Okay, so this brings us to the most practical part of all this. How do the foods we eat actually play into this whole internal balancing act? So the theory goes like this, and it's a little counterintuitive. It's not about a food's pH before you eat it. It's about what's left over, the mineral ash, after your body has digested and metabolized it. Think about it. Foods that are rich in minerals like calcium and magnesium leave behind an alkaline ash, which helps balance things out. But foods high in minerals like phosphorus and sulfur, they leave behind an acid ash.
And this is where things get really interesting. Take a look at the alkaline-forming side. You see things you'd expect, like dark leafy greens and most veggies. But then you see lemons. They taste acidic, right? But after digestion, they leave that beneficial alkaline ash. They're joined by almonds, quinoa, and lentils. Now, on the acid-forming side, you've got some usual suspects: sugar, alcohol, meat, aged cheese, but also things like hybridized wheat and caffeine. The idea isn't to eliminate one side, but to get the balance right.
So what's the magic ratio? Well, the goal, according to this source, isn't to be 100% alkaline. The body needs some acid-forming foods too.
The recommendation is to aim for a diet that's about 70 to 80% alkaline forming and just 20 to 30% acid forming. It's that ratio that's believed to help keep our cellular environment in that optimal zone.
So as we wrap this up, how do we put all this together in a way that makes sense? Well, the source offers this really beautiful and powerful analogy that I think really helps. I want you to think of your body like a garden. A really smart gardener knows a cool trick with hydrangea flowers. They know that by changing the pH of the soil, making it more acidic or more alkaline, they can actually change the color of the flowers from pink to blue. It's the exact same plant, but its expression, its color, changes based on the environment it's living in.
And that brings us to this incredibly powerful idea from the source. Just like that gardener can change the soil, we have the ability to influence the soil of our own bodies. We can play with the pH of our cells to nudge our body in one direction or another.
And so the real question this leaves us with is a pretty personal one. When you look at your own inner garden, what will you choose to cultivate? Health or something else? The choice, it seems, is ours to make.